you are currently working and trying to balance family life?
Are you struggling with your work-life balance?
No, I think I need to work more.
Respect. Okay. Logic, I'm going to throw this at you first, right? You're a happily married man now.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
How long?
It's been a year and a half.
All right, so you're newlywed, right?
Yeah.
How long were you guys together before you got married?
We were together for 2 years.
Got it. So do you struggle with I mean, obviously you've got your workspace here at your home.
Yeah.
Do you think about work-life balance? Do you think about, like, because you're grinding, you're like in this incredible moment in your career. Do you worry about finding the right balance? Do you feel good about your balance? Where are you at today?
It's something that it's always never ending. So for me, for example, last year I over 130 shows. I performed. I was gone.
You were gone the whole year.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to know, like, you really do need balance. So
was she able to travel with you?
Yeah, she was able to travel, but then she's her own person too.
Yeah,
so
she's got a life.
Miss each other and things like that. So I think, sure, work as hard as you can, but when it affects the person you love, when it truly, in any type of negative way, that's when you just need to sit down and say, all right, how are we going to do this? And you guys schedule it out together. And you say, these days are ours, or this dinner is ours, or these 3 hours on Sunday is ours, and this is mine, and that's yours, and this is us together, and this is work. So,
Ryan, I think Logic's got it right. It comes down to communication, right? And the truth is, some weeks, some months, some years, it goes perfect, and other times it's a real struggle, right? And so, you know, for me, I've got the greatest support system of all time. My wife Lizzie is absolutely the foundation of my insanity. I also travel a shitload, and I've got 2 young kids. But you've also got to look at circumstances, right? So much of, you know, I don't know if you caught this part, but so much of what makes Logic is the scenario of the house he grew up in. I grew up in an immigrant household where my dad left before I woke up and went home and got home after I went to sleep. My dad and I slept in the same exact place for the first 17 years of my life. This is true, by the way. I never went to sleepaway camp. Like, we basically, outside of a couple sleepovers that I had, slept in the same home every night, and I barely saw him. And my wife also had a ridiculously successful father, you know, different corporate America success, not immigrant entrepreneur success. So he traveled a lot. So for her and I, it's not foreign that I'm away and traveling 50, 100, 150 days a year. Whereas other people, if you ate dinner with mom and dad every night and your dad was home at 5:30, like, and then you go marry somebody who's traveling 180 days a week, that's foreign. So you've got to communicate, you've got to understand the context of where everybody comes from. When I hear you say you think you've got to work more, that's a whole different question. That's not about work-life balance. That is, are you doing the thing you want to do? Are you hungry?
Personal happiness.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, personal happiness is really fascinating because the truth is, Ryan, the biggest thing that, you know, if you're watching me, the one thing I'm scared of is, you know, not everybody has to buy the New York Jets. Right? Like, I'm trying to buy the Jets, and I mean it. So I am gonna, like, bleed out of my eyeballs for the rest of my life. But not everybody has to do that, so I think it's imperative that you figure out, you don't necessarily have to work more unless you want to achieve a lot more and want to be happier with the day, you know, what you're doing day in and day out.
Yeah, I just realized I'm so passionate about Treehouse. I just get up earlier now. So I get up at 4:30 and just grind, and I love it. It's good.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, keep doing your thing. Thanks for watching the show.
Love you, man.
And go listen to Logic's music if you haven't, because I feel like you haven't, and you need to immediately.
Will do.
You promise?
I promise. Right
You
now.
promise Logic right now. He's literally here. You have to promise him.
I promise you, Logic.
I'm literally, Logic, I promise you, I'm driving home. I'm going to listen.
Spotify right now, bro. LOGIC. It's not spelled ghetto.
Ryan, seriously, you're gonna think back to this moment in 3 years when Logic's literally one of the 5 biggest musicians in the world and think that was the craziest shit that ever happened.
I can't wait.
All right, man, take care, bye-bye.